Hello Citizens, how is it going? It's a huge game, isn't it? It's the big one of the season, and it's the one we're all nervous for. It's the one we're all excited for. It's going to be the title decider, possibly. Who knows? But before we jump into it, make sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you're new. Make sure to follow us. I really do appreciate it. And our Twitter can be found in the bio below. I don't really update all that often, but I'll try. I'll do my best. Now let's jump into the game. So Liverpool. Oh, it's going to be very different to the last two games, isn't it? We played Burnley and we played Atletico Madrid. We won them two games, but they were very, very different. Both of them teams were super defensive. And what we saw in them two games, you know, and I said it after the Burnley game as well as a preview towards the Atletico Madrid game, is that City are more willing to play more direct now rather than just pass it around between the back four. You know, we're getting forward a lot quicker and we're trying to pump balls into the box. Doesn't always pay off, of course, because most teams have bigger players than us. And I'm, you know, away from Madrid and Burnley, they're used to defending quite a lot. So they were tough teams to break down. We eventually got them wins. I mean, we scored 2 early goals against Burnley, and then they wrote that game off. They just tried not to get battered. And of course, Atletico Madrid tried to play for the draw. And it was a tough game. Now, Liverpool's not going to be like that. Liverpool, I think, maybe the first 10-15 minutes might be a bit of a feeling situation where both teams don't really want to go all-out attack just in case and look to break, you know. But I think there's going to be a lot of possession in this one for both teams. Of course, City like to dominate the ball more than Liverpool. Liverpool are forced to do it against lesser teams, shall we say, you know, teams towards the bottom who don't want to really attack them. But they will push up to the line. And like I said, against Madrid and against Burnley, we played some long balls. And I think we might try and do that against Liverpool. You know, try and turn their defence around a lot more than we normally would rather than just play tiki-taka. Of course, we're still going to try and play that. And we're going to try and hit the bylines and cut the ball across. But I think we're going to see a few balls over the top too, more than you'd expect from us. Now, Liverpool, of course, they're in a rich vein of form as well. And it's going to be an absolutely battle, isn't it? For me, they're danger men at the moment. Of course, Salah, you can never write him off. People are saying, talking about his dip in form. Ignore that. He always turns on when he needs to. And then, of course, you've got Jota, who I think is their danger man at the moment. I think he is absolutely on fire. And if we can shut him down, I think we've got a good chance of winning this game. Now, I don't think we're going to see anything unexpected from Pep. Of course, he's been accused in the last couple of weeks of overthinking it. And when Klopp was asked during his match preview, you know, he said, Pep, overthink it. I mean, he's the best coach in the world. So if he's overthinking it, who are we to question? Well, I don't think he's going to overthink this one. I think he's going to really do exactly what you expect. The team lineup is going to be absolutely what you think it's going to be. It's going to be Edison. It's going to be Walker. It's going to be Cancelo. And it's going to be Laporte and Stones in defence because Diaz is still injured. Unfortunately, I'd love Diaz back for this one, but he's not. We're going to have to live with it. In midfield, he's going to drop Bernardo in there alongside De Bruyne. Gundogan's going to come out. You're also going to see Rodri playing defensive mid, of course. And out wide, you're going to probably see Mahrez and Sterling and Foden in the middle. Now, I'm not really a fan of that. I don't think that always works out against us or for us. I think mainly because we play a lot of defensive teams and, you know, Foden doesn't get on the ball that much. Might be a little bit different against Liverpool. You know, like we saw at Anfield when we attacked them, you know, when Foden got on the ball more, he caused a lot of problems for us, and we should have won that game as well. We absolutely handled them perfectly. We stopped the counter-attacks. A big part of that is because the fullbacks, you know, playing Cancelo at the left as well. And we defended quite well in that game. We were really unlucky. Of course, Liverpool could have won it at the end if it wasn't for Rodri's block. But it is what it is. I still think we should have won that match. I thought we played better than them overall. Now, Foden, you know, there's a case to be had. You can never drop Foden. And I said in the match watch along in the match reaction after the Atletico Madrid game, I think Foden's our most important player at the moment. You know, get him on the ball. He turns, he's direct, he's passing superb. And of course, he's got a good left shot on him. You know, he can hit the ball too. And I think his creativity, I think is underappreciated just how much he can create and how well he is. You know, he's like a David Silva 2.0. Honestly, he's getting up there and he's learned from the best to do that too. And playing him in that number 9 role is a complete waste of his talent for me. I mean, who else do you play there? Whoever you're going to play there is going to be basically out of the game for most of it anyway. Unless it's going to be Grealish or Jesus, I can only see them two playing well in that role. You know, Grealish will hold up the ball a little bit more. He will carry it forward. He will draw a lot of fouls. And maybe that's who you want in this match. Maybe you want him to draw a lot of fouls, you know, because he will do that as well. And test that Liverpool backline. Try and get an early booking on them. Now, another one I want to talk about as well is Sterling. For me, Sterling has to play on the right-hand side. We saw the quality of him against Burnley. Yeah, you could argue it's Burnley and they didn't really try in that first half to stop us from attacking. but he was so good. And then Atletico Madrid on the left, he really didn't do much. I just prefer him on the right hand side. I like it when he's hitting that byline and he's cutting crosses in first time. When he's on the left, he doesn't do that because he has to cut in to get onto his right foot. So he's not getting early crosses in. And I think that's a big flaw for us when he's on the left hand side. Yeah, he's good. You know, he can turn, he can shoot, he'll drive forward, he'll go down in the box a lot. You know, he does really need to stop that though, in fairness. But play him on the right hand side, let him cut, you know, balls across quicker. Let him do that. And I want to see Foden on the left hand side. Foden on the left, Sterling on the right, and maybe Grealish in the middle, because I think Grealish is having a bit of good time with us at the moment. I think his form's pretty decent. You know, you can argue that, you know, he's not scoring goals, sure, and he's not getting many assists, but I think he carries the ball well, and I think he holds up play really well for us. And of course, he wins a lot of free kicks. That's what you want against Atletico Madrid. When he came on alongside Foden and Jesus, I thought the game changed quite a bit. I commend Pep for that as well, because we've seen it many times before, especially when the game's running down 0-0, or, you know, we're 1-0 up, whatever. He just doesn't like making changes. He won't do it. But against Atletico Madrid, he saw an opportunity. He swapped the front three. Look what happened. We get the goal within, was it 68 seconds, something like that, 90 seconds? And that's a big part of him as well. Now, it is going to be a tough game. It is going to be a battle. Now, do I think the winner is going to win the league necessarily? No. Of course, if we win, we'll be 4 points clear of them. And it's a huge gap with 7 games to go. I think it's 7 games to go after this. But we've still got some really tough games to come. What's it? We've got Wolves, we've got Newcastle, Brighton as well. You know, you can never really write anything off. And of course, Liverpool have got Everton. They should win that game. They got United. They should also win that game. So they've got, in theory, some tough games on paper. So I don't think necessarily the winner of this game wins the league, but I think it will go a huge way to helping them win the league. And of course, they're in the driving seat as well. And it's also a good indicator where we're going to be for the FA Cup semi-final in a couple of weeks. So of course, we've got Liverpool in that too. So it's going to be a huge game. And of course, nobody wants to lose it. You just don't want to lose this game, do you? Because like I said, the winner is probably going to win the league. And I don't really want to see Liverpool be able to our ground. Will a draw be good enough for City? Again, it's tough to say because we're only going to be 1 point clear. And like I said, we've got some tough games coming up. But we will still be at top of the league. And if you're at the top of the league with 7 games to go, you got to fancy yourself to go on and win that as well. You'd rather be 1 point ahead rather than 1 point behind, right? That's where you got to look at it. So big game, and the players are going to have to really step up. We can't afford to carry passengers in this one. And unfortunately, I think whoever plays that number 9 role may be somewhat of a passenger for quite a lot of the game. And that's going to be unfortunate because we can't afford it. We're going to have everyone running around. And if you saw that Atletico Madrid game as well, and many games as well this year, is the one thing that has changed is like City swarm defensively. And we've seen De Bruyne get back a lot. I mean, De Bruyne plays right side of midfield, but he's always on the left backs, you know, covering Cancelo. When he goes forward, he's all over the pitch, De Bruyne, doing his defensive work. And we saw it against Atletico Madrid as well. It's like, and we saw it quite a few times against United. You know, there's that one shot. I think it was it Sancho who gets the ball and there's 7 City players around him. That's happening every game. Whenever teams are breaking on us, one of the reasons why we do well against counter-attacks mostly this season, we've let a few go, of course. Tottenham and United, I can think of a couple. But the City players are swarming back, and I think everyone's going to have to do that here as well because they're so dangerous on the break and they're so quick out wide that these players are going to have to swarm. And we're going to need everyone doing their part. We're also going to need 11 players on the pitch. Any sort of sending off in this one, and I think that's done. You can't afford to play send off, so I think we're going to have to finish with 11 players on the pitch. We're going to have to not carry any passengers. Everyone's going to have to step up. And if it's going wrong, I want to see quick changes made by Pep. You know, I don't want to see going to 80th minute and we've not made a sub. That's just not going to do because whether we're 0-0, 1-0 up, 1-0 behind, you just can't afford to not take your chances against Liverpool. You have to score them. And that's my match preview for this one. But yeah, thanks for checking out. Thanks for watching. It's going to be a big game. Now, I'm not going to do a live watch along for this one because I'm going to be at the game itself. So let's hope I'm in a good mood coming back because it's like a 2-hour trip home. Because I'm going to be walking back probably. So yeah, fingers crossed it goes well. And yeah, let's enjoy the game. Now, like I said, thanks for watching. And make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new. Thanks for checking us out. And like I said, follow us on Twitter. The link is in my bio. And as always, have a great day. Have a great weekend. And see you Sunday.